Today is October 5th, 2016. I am here reporting from the Breaking News Studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. I come here today to commemorate the 227th anniversary of the March of Versailles. On this day in 1789, an angry mob of nearly 7,000 working women, armed with pitchforks, pikes, and muskets, marched in the rain from Paris to Versailles in what would be a pivotal moment in intensifying the French Revolution. For this major moment, we have sent a field reporter to Paris on the events occurring there. Now, let's zoom into Josh Layfield in Paris near the Eiffel Tower.
Thank you, Arsh. I am here today in beautiful Paris, France, the starting location of the Women's March to Versailles. The Women's March to Versailles was started by the extreme cost of a single loaf of bread. The cost of bread rose so high value because the Third Estate was not producing enough grain to make the bread. The women consumers and merchants were done with the prices of bread, which in today's value would cost $21,120.
Before they left to Versailles, men and women ransacked Paris City Hall, complaining about the cost of bread and looking for weapons to take to Versailles. Marquis Lafayette, the commander-in-chief of Paris, warned the king about the march by sending a horseman ahead to Versailles. The women had to march 15 miles from Paris to Versailles in the rain. A gathering of women arrived at Versailles, wet, armed, and angered toward the crown of France, sitting cozy in their palace. Guards have been set up as a preparation to the march. However, the massive amount of men and women there overwhelmed the guards. As the guards tried to defend the palace, some of the women were able to break in and threaten the king that, if he did not return to Paris, the queen, Marie Antoinette, would be killed. The king, Louis XVI, agreed to return to Paris on October 6, 1789, to sort out the problem that agitated the public.
Overall, the march was effective by making the Crown of France realize the problem that the common people of France face. Back to you, Arsh.
Thank you, Josh, for reporting from Paris. Now, the Women's March brought to an end of a great monarchy of France, but even greater significance, it forever transformed the role of women in the revolution and what political gain they would expect for themselves. What immediately followed these events amounted to nothing less than a sub-revolution for the women of France. In the wake of their extraordinary success, they quickly began to organize, and just 1 month after the March on Versailles, they would present the new assembly a groundbreaking demand for gender equality. They proposed the Women's Petition to the National Assembly, which was presented to the French Assembly in November 1789, proposing a decree by the National Assembly to give women equality. There were thousands of petitions presented to the National Assembly. This one was not discussed. This petition was eventually adopted in early 1791. Thank you for watching this special broadcast, and from me and my team, we would like to say goodbye.